Hello people, welcome to my channel. If you're coming across my channel for the very first time, thank you so much. Please consider subscribing. To my returning subscribers, you guys are amazing. I love you so much and I hope we are all doing fine. So in today's conversation is about working moms and stay-at-home moms. The lady came open to say she doesn't understand the conflict between these women. She also said she is confused to why working moms look down on staying at home moms. And she said a lot of things in her video. So without much wasting time, let's roll the clip and watch together. I'll be back soon.
And the argument that working moms say to stay-at-home moms, and this is typically a working mom to stay-at-home mom or working dad to stay-at-home mom conversation. Like, I would never be able to financially rely on someone else. Like, what if he died? What if he leaves you? But one, not planning on those things, so I don't have to worry about my husband leaving me because he's not going to. Cool. Two, if he dies, one, we have life insurance. Two, I would obviously pivot. Even if I was working full-time, if my husband passed away, like, obviously I would pivot.
Before we watch the stitches, what is your take, guys, on this video? I would love to hear from you in the comment section below, because this issue has been talked about several times. It seems to be endless, but let's watch the stitches and I'll be back at the end of the video to leave my own comment. So please don't go away.
Pivot.
For her sake and for the sake of her children, I genuinely hope their relationship works out. But for any number of reasons, a relationship can end. And it doesn't have to be the man doesn't want to be with you anymore. It doesn't have to be that the man has gone on to glory. It could be you wanting to leave him. It could be you being tired of settling for the bare minimum. He could be having an affair and want to stay in the relationship, but you want to leave. There could be any number of reasons why a woman would want to leave a man. I just don't feel like it's wise to just assume that every person who's telling you to have a little something for yourself is hating on you. Some of these women are genuinely trying to warn you because nobody warned them. Women take the biggest risk when we have children with a man, when we get married, because oftentimes we take ourselves out of the job market. So we're not working. They're steadily moving up the corporate ladder, getting higher positions, getting raises, getting promotions, getting bonuses, all those things. And all because of all your labor being unpaid, you don't have those things. Even if you have a degree to fall back on, if you haven't even worked in that field, you're going to get an entry-level position when you finally get out there and work. And not every job is eager to hire someone who's been home for the last 10 years and has zero work experience. I don't think that it's unwise for these married women, these divorced women, these women who had to rebuild and regroup, are trying to warn other women, have a little something for yourself so you don't end up like me.
And the argument that working moms say to stay-at-home mom that
I understand how annoying it is when people give you unsolicited advice or their unsolicited opinion. Like, you didn't ask for it, you don't need it, you don't want it. I get it, I understand it. But if you are a stay-at-home mom, in my personal opinion, you always want to have your own because you don't know. You might not be planning for a divorce, and no one really is, I'd assume, if you decide to get married to the person that you want to spend the rest of your life with. But what if? Because people change, feelings change, and circumstances also change. So what if this person is committed to you today, but realize they want something else that's not you tomorrow? How do you pivot when you have nothing to pivot with? I understand if something happens to your husband and he passes away, you're relying on life insurance to kick in and pay you. But like, what if life insurance doesn't go through? Or what if there's something wrong with the life insurance? Or what if you're not even on this person's life insurance? What if? What if another strand of COVID comes out and your husband loses his job and now he's reliant on you financially because he can't provide for the family any longer due to the fact that he lost his job? What if one day you woke up and you decide to want to leave the relationship because you realize that your husband doesn't love you no more or he's not showing you love anymore, so therefore you feel like you would rather be alone than be in a relationship where you're not being loved? How do you pivot? Keep in mind, I'm not saying any of this as a scare tactic. This is just me being real. This is me being honest. And I say all this to say, what is the harm in preparing for worst case scenario? Because you can't predict what's going to happen in the future, but at least you can be prepared for it. So if you have a little free time, why not pursue a certificate or something? Why not save a little bit of money for just in case? Why not create a plan B and a plan C if you need to leave or if something happens to where you have to provide for the family? I am not saying don't be a stay-at-home mom. What I am saying is that if you decide to be a stay-at-home mom, be a prepared stay-at-home mom. That's all I'm saying.
like I would never be able to financially rely on someone else.
That creator talks about how she's financially dependent on her husband and she's a stay-at-home mom and they're never going to get a divorce. And as a woman who just had to file for divorce back in September and I was financially dependent on a man, I have some very hot takes on this. I come from a place of a man pays for everything and a woman can go to work and she's going to keep all her money. Sprinkle, sprinkle, because I know that sprinkle, sprinkle lady recommends the same thing. And before anybody comes for me in the comments, that man married me knowing exactly who I am. My advice for women is to stay relevant. Stay relevant. Go to work. Get an Etsy shop. Do something. I remember my daughter being little and I was asking this man if I could get my nails done and I was like, abso-fucking-lutely not. And I got a job at a makeup counter because I was a makeup artist before the baby. And from there, I did some volunteer work for charity fashion shows and I met people within my community and I was able to go to a salon and do bar mitzvahs and weddings and all the things. I also always invested in my company's 401k. Working part-time, staying relevant, networking within my community left me some wiggle room to be able to take my daughter on trips because he didn't really like to travel, or being able to buy stuff that a man doesn't see as important, make your house a home kind of shit. Fast forward to a couple Junes ago and I decide I can't take it anymore. But again, I need to set myself up for success because I have a child, a house, I have all the things, and I know that I have to prepare for filing for divorce. And because I was staying relevant, I was able to walk into my manager's office and say, hey, there's a position open for the coolest fucking job in the world and I'm qualified for it. And guess who has that job now? Me. So guess what? As the divorce finalizes and I need health insurance, boom, have it. Company 401k, boom, have it. Work with a bunch of talented ladies, boom, have it. Still network in the community, have a few side hustles, boom, have it. Does he still pay my bills? Abso-fucking-lutely. I believe that as women, we do ourselves a disservice by being a truly stay-at-home mom, just throwing on sweatpants, going to the park, not staying relevant, because in 15 years from now, what might happen? And then you don't have a resume. You don't have anything to back up. Sure, I get alimony, but what if hypothetically he was a ginormous asshole and was like, I'm going to wait till this is all finalized and then we'll shake it out. At least I have a job. I have some money in a savings account. I have money in a 401k. I'm not just alone in this world after being dependent on a man. So my advice for everyone, please stay.
I don't understand the argument that working moms.
The comment section already addresses a lot of my thoughts on this topic, but there's one thing that's missing that I don't see reflected in the comments at all. I don't think it's weird that you trust your husband. I think it's weird that you trust his employment. Are you not paying attention to the news? Layoffs happen. Mergers, acquisitions happen. Companies go out of business. And so me personally, I just don't ever trust one income. So if you're in a relationship, I would think each individual should bring in some income. It doesn't mean you have to have a job. You might have an Etsy shop. You might be doing influencing on social media. Heck, I'm a single mom. And yes, I do get some child support, but child support is not equal to what my salary is. So I also believe in side hustles. I just believe in 2024, it's really reckless to depend on one stream of income. Because if anything, history has shown me all of this stuff is fickle. But at the end of the day, you have mouths to feed. So the question is not what if something happens to your marriage or what if something happens to your husband. The question is what if something happens to that one stream of income? Then what?
If you are staying at home, mom, it is responsible to have a backup plan, because if anything happens, you are leaving your future and the children's future chances. And that is irresponsible if there is nothing more unwise than putting all your eggs in one basket. Never is a word that maturity teaches you not to say. To me, she speaks so naive, as though she knows her future. Nobody, and I mean nobody, can ever truly know what another person is or isn't capable of doing. Ladies, let's be careful having a mindset of that will never happen to me, because life and time will humble you very quickly. Always work and save while spending all his money. It's so unwise relying on someone financially, no matter who your husband is. Always have your own income. Please, ladies. Anyway, thank you so much for being part of the conversation. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed. See you in the next video. It's a bye for now. Stay safe.